The Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, or MUTCD, now requires the continued use of a method designed to maintain pavement markings at or above specific minimum retroreflectivity levels. The MUTCD recommends using one or more of 5 methods described in detail in the FHWA publication titled Methods for Maintaining Pavement Marking Retroreflectivity. A link to this document is provided in the video description. This video will introduce you to the 2 service life-based methods. Links are provided in the description below to videos related to this topic and other methods. Like the other methods, the first step in both service life methods is to decide which roads and markings your agency will include in its method. The key difference between these 2 service life methods is whether you already have enough historic data to determine the expected service life of the pavement markings you are using, or if you will need to monitor a subset of your markings to determine the service life. The most important factors in determining the service life of pavement marking retroreflectivity are the type of pavement marking, including the binder, thickness, and optics, the pavement surface type, traffic volumes, climate, winter maintenance operations, and minimum retroreflectivity level. The minimum retroreflectivity level is based on the MUTCD requirements and recommendations, or a higher level established by your agency. The historical data method relies on estimated service life information from research, or from historical data that has been collected in the field, or both. Regardless of the source of data, it is critical that the service life be based on comparable markings under similar or more arduous conditions. For instance, it would be reasonable to use a service life developed under very high traffic volumes for a roadway with low traffic volumes, since it is reasonable to assume the markings on the low volume road will last at least as long as they would on a high volume road. Expected service life of pavement markings varies considerably across the U.S. Historical retroreflectivity data used for this method needs to be based on your agency's materials and conditions. If you have different types of pavement markings or different conditions that relate to the service life, you will need to break the markings down into appropriate groups and determine the service life for each group. Once the expected service life is determined for each group of markings based on their characteristics and local conditions, you can set a replacement date for each roadway depending on when the markings were installed. The goal is to replace markings before their retroreflectivity falls below the MUTCD minimum levels. With this method, agencies set the schedule based on the known service life of the particular markings. If you are one of the many agencies that hasn't yet determined the service life of your pavement markings, then you may be able to obtain that data by using the service life based on monitored markings method for a few years. With this method, an agency organizes their pavement markings into groups with similar installation dates, characteristics, and conditions, then selects a representative sample of the markings within each group to monitor. Based on periodic monitoring of the retroreflectivity level of the representative sample, the agency tracks the durability of the group and schedules replacement before the markings reach the minimum level. Both the monitored markings and the larger group of comparable markings they represent are replaced at the same time. The preferred monitoring method is the measurement method. Alternatively, one of the nighttime visual inspection methods can be used. Both service life methods can be used as standalone methods or in combination with other methods to help you maintain your pavement markings. For instance, you may be able to determine the service life for some markings, but not others. In this case, you might need to monitor a subset of the markings with the unknown service life for a few years until you collect enough data on that type of pavement marking under local conditions to determine the service life. You can find more information about the maintenance methods, pavement marking retroreflectivity, and nighttime visibility at links posted below this video or at the FHWA Nighttime Visibility website, www.fhwa.dot.gov/retro.